Today I am answering to your questions. I would like to make an announcement first. I would like to thank you. I thank everyone who helps spread Vedic knowledge through social networks. There are many people who work in social networks and register our information. There are about 400,000 people in different groups. The biggest group is 200,000 people. And this is happening thanks to many people. I would like to express my gratitude to all these people, my love and my warm feelings towards them. And also many people translate my books into different languages. They do it voluntarily. About 20 languages. My lectures and my books are being translated. Many people transcribe my lectures, take quotes, make video clips. I would like to thank them all who are involved in these projects. And if you want to, you can also take part in it. You can translate my lectures and books into the language you know. I received many requests with cry and desire that my lectures were translated into English. And if you have some acquaintance who is eager to do it, we need all the volunteers we can get. Translating lectures takes much time, and there are many lectures, so we need volunteers who can translate my lectures into English. This is the announcement. Now we're going to have Q&A. I need all the notes I received earlier and did not answer to. They are somewhere here. Are these all? Also ask questions about daily routine. This is our topic. So this is how we're going to do. Many people come to me for individual consultation. If you want one, I have certain views on this point. I can tell a lot of many interesting things and people exploit me. They exhaust me completely. I feel that God is not satisfied when I try to tell future to a person. People just squeeze out information out of me. They want me to live for them. And when it does not work, as I said, I am being blamed for it. And also people want me to diagnose them, and if I am mistaken, I am blamed again. As of our communication, I do not like this approach when people come up to me and try to squeeze out information out of me. I came here to give you knowledge and not for you to exploit me with your desire to receive some information that I may have. But if you have some problem in your life, my experience tells me that it can be solved by this thing that is present in all spiritual traditions. It is confession. Confession is an open thing. If a person wants to know something and he asks it publicly, I happily answer. I see that in this case the person paid his price. If he opens up, if he says something in front of other people, So there are two options now. Either you write a note and I give you a general answer, or you stand up. Many people came up to me wanting to know something about their life. Now you can raise your hand, you can stand up and ask this question, and I will answer to you. But do not ask questions about health. I do not give health consultations, my assistants do it. For two reasons. First, people want me to diagnose them, and that is wrong, because diagnosis can only be done after serious tests. And the second is that some people think that if I diagnose them, I can as easily heal them. Oleg Gennadievich, I have a sore throat. What should I do? They do not understand that in 1 second I have to test 100 herbs in my head. I have to prognose what is going to happen to the body. People are just trying to break my brain. I cannot heal in 1 second just by answering your questions. And this is another reason why I do not consult on health. People want too much of me. I cannot heal people in 1 moment. Many people do not want to make efforts, and they think they can approach me, they ask 1 question, and they are healed. It does not work that way. And when I did that under pressure of my admirers, when I did that under pressure, that same people blamed me for telling them some things. If I give an advice under pressure, you can understand that that is not effective. Good treatment is only done in close contact with the person. And if a person does something that he got out of me under pressure, it doesn't work, and I'm being blamed for that. And I have aversion to idea of consulting on health, because people expect too much of me. To diagnose a person, I must work a lot. I told you that I have to study a person very closely. I can only test 3 or 4 persons a day, and that is as many people as come to our health center. So let's be true to each other. If you want to have something extraordinary of me, I cannot help you. I do not have this power. I have assistants who give you health consultations. They know what I would say, so go to them. And also we have a free online consultation. We have 2 employees who work online. There is great request for our consultations, and we give you opportunity to associate via Skype. Let us be true to each other. How can one know his constitution? To do that, you must study Ayurveda. That same question. You want something cheaply, but it costs you. There are test systems. You can go to the internet. Maybe even there is an Ayurvedic test on our website. There are about 70 questions, and in the end, your constitution is defined by the amount of grades you got. But if you never studied Ayurveda, you are going to understand nothing. You must read about doshas. There are 3 basic constitutions I'm telling about. If you study it a little, you are going to know your constitution from your life. There are different constitutions. They are all connected to something. For example, there are 3 elements: fire, water, and air. And according to that, there are 3 constitutions. There also are introverts and extroverts. That is about your senses. If your senses go inside your body, not inside your consciousness, just inside your body, that is not a person of internal life, that is just a closed-up person. And there are extroverts, that is different. There are mind constitutions. Demigods and planets affect people's minds, and depending on what planet prevails in your life, you have different constitutions. Your mind can be affected by Sun, Mercury or Saturn. That is mind constitution. There are constitutions of intelligence. People are in the modes of ignorance, passion or goodness. That is your intelligence. There are constitutions about Varnas, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahman. A person can be a scientist or a ruler. That is where your intelligence is directed to, not its force, but its direction. There are 4 constitutions: a scientist, a manager, a businessman, a worker. Do you want to know all your constitutions? Please tell, is it better to eat cold food or the one heated in the microwave oven? It's better just to shoot yourself at once. I cannot answer this question. If you are cold by nature and you cannot digest cold food, it is better to heat it in the microwave oven, and then you will have immunity disorder. But it is better to think with your head and to organize your life better. It is not about your possibilities, it is about your desire. Here is an example. If you love someone and you have a date, but you have no time, what is better, to go on a date or not to go? You have no time, but still you will find time to go on a date. And just the same, if you know that you must eat heated food, you will bring it in thermos. You can keep it warm for hours in the thermos. If you think a little, you will find a way. But if a person does not want to think, then Oleg Gennadievich must do it for him. And here is a paradox. What is better, a constipation or a guillotine? I do not know. You can die both of cold food and of microwaved food. That is your undesire to work on yourself. Milk that is sold in shops, is it still milk? It is still milk. In Moscow, I used to put milk powder into water and drank it before sleep. It worked, it released blood pressure, but the quality was much lower than natural milk, and even better to have milk from your own cow. I've been to a Vedic community in Hungary, and I saw cows that behaved just like cats. They run up to you, they rub on you, they are so happy. They've never been beaten or abused. They're just like cats. And they have so much love that they only need mating 1 time in 5 years. They give milk for 5 years. Normally it's about 2 years. The milk does not stop. They feel so much love for people. They're like children to them. And so they give milk. Do not be fanatic. If there is no other milk, buy one in a shop. You should pick one that cannot be stored for long, that goes sour in a few days. Those Tetra Packs, they have antibiotics added and some bad things. Even bacteria wouldn't eat that milk. This milk does not go sour at all. It becomes something stinky. It covers with mold and things like that. You should better buy pasteurized milk. It was just heated to kill bacteria. And this milk, it was not even boiled. It is heated up to 80 or 90 degrees Celsius. It is a way to disinfect milk. I quitted eating fish and meat a year ago. I lost weight. I feel worse. My limbs are always cold, and especially it's difficult during winter. I go to the bathroom often. I weigh 40 kgs. Raise your hand. Who said that? Who wrote this? This is individual. She's not here. So listen to me. Now I can see you. Your body lacks oil and proteins badly. The reason that you lost so much weight, that you do not understand what is food without meat. The food must contain a lot of oil and milk protein. Did you get on weight while eating here? And yes, you did. And why is that? Because people could cook well here. Usually people think that vegetarian food is fasting. Fasting and vegetarian food are different things. For example, Christian fasts. The food is very poor, just some salad and some grains. Vegetarian food is what you eat here. That is normal. It fills you, it has good nutrition effect. When I used to eat meat over 20 years ago, I ate 3 times a day, and that was not enough. I was hungry. Now I eat once a day, and that is too much. Vegetarian food is digested well and it fills you. Less vegetarian food is required, but you must cook it correctly. The primary mistake is too little fat and proteins in what you cook to yourself. If you just have porridge and salad, that is not enough. Please advise. You said that reincarnation in a human body is only possible after a cow, a monkey, and a predator. A cow and a monkey is understandable, but why the predator? No, I believe I did not say that. Cow, monkey, elephant, dolphin. Those beings with developed consciousness. A person, a human being can become a predator. This is degradation. You can become a human being from any other form of life by the mercy of a saintly person. For example, by the way, cats and dogs also reincarnate as human beings if they had relationships with human beings, but they become people in the mode of ignorance, and cows in the mode of goodness, as well as other animals with hooves. But if a dog served a person and did not enjoy its life, then it can also become a noble human being. But first, animals are incarnated as people with primitive lives, some tribes and life like that, where people are not too conscious and knowledgeable. And also, if a child is retarded, that means he has just incarnated from an animal body. It is difficult to become a human being. A lot of animals are incarnated as human beings now. You can see that. How favorable it is to eat when driving. What is better, to eat in the city in a traffic jam, or to eat outside the city at high speed where there is a lot of prana? Do you know how hot water bottle for enema looks like? There is this bottle and a hose. Take it, put it in your car, fill it with some nutritional mix so that you did not have to chew anything. Put it in your mouth and eat when driving. But chewing and driving at the same time is impossible. When a person drives and eats, that means that he eats stress. No digestion is possible. Eating requires much energy. When a person eats, it is better to discuss nothing, maybe some close happy association, and no questions should be asked. When you ask a question, a person has his food stuck in his mouth because he must switch from consuming to thinking. And when driving, you think constantly and you're under stress. You try not to hit anything, and that is stressful. My dear ones, please stop on the roadside for 10 minutes. It is not difficult. That is the mode of passion. It makes you eat while driving. Stop for a while, take fruits and vegetables, get oil, salt and thermos with food, put spiritual music on, relax for 2 minutes before eating, and then have your lunch. Then rest for another 5 minutes and then drive safely. Do not speed for at least 15 minutes. This is the way you should do. And eating while moving is crazy. If you want to destroy your health, you're welcome. But if you do an enema, like I told you, and you suck your food in with no chewing, then it is fine. That's a joke. How do the Vedas explain prana eating? If we receive mental energy, does it mean that when prana eating a person becomes very peaceful and able to generate inner energy and not take it from food? What incarnation are these personalities going to have? Prana eating does not mean that if you only eat sun energy, you're going to be born in the spiritual world. Higher planets are guaranteed. That's a big austerity. It is possible not to eat, but it is a very sophisticated yoga. If you did yoga very seriously in past lives and this life, then gradually in a few years you can switch to prana eating, feed from the sun. But at the same time you must spend at least an hour or two in water daily for the water to enter your pores, and your toxins will also be released. I know for sure that there are people who do not eat, and they can stay like that for 50 years and live long. But these people cannot live in society. If they associate with people, they get burnt. They live like hermits and only have contact with the sun. This is life for renounced people. But if you're not ready for it and you start to eat only prana and your subtle channels are not ready for that, and you start to do it, and you can never tell when you're ready. You will have organs dystrophy in about 6-7 months of prana eating. It is possible that you will not die of hunger. People normally die of hunger, not because they lack nutrition, but because of their emotional state of hunger that causes dystrophy. Hunger is when you have fire digestion and the person does not eat. That is hunger. There is no hunger when you eat from inside. Your body can feed from waste. There is a closed circle, and for that you need sun energy. You must have enough sun. So in the northern countries it is impossible to prana eat, only in the south. And then when it is cold, prana eaters cannot survive. It is possible, but that is another level, whole higher level, like yogis in Himalayas. First they sit in the sun and then they move to colder climate and still they feed from the sun. But all these things are not worth the effort, because the goal of a human life is to love God. If you only eat prana, that does not mean that you love God. What you do is what you become. The Vedas say that you must not waste your time on empty austerities. You must improve your relationships with God and serve people. Prana eaters cannot serve people because all day they are concerned with their eating. It is hard labor not to eat, to be in the sun all the time. They have nothing to give to people. They are limited in their ability to associate because they have limited energy. Like electromobile, it is great, no gas required, but you cannot go far. That is not effective from the point of view of living that you want to devote to others. Do you understand that? It is possible, but it is not effective. But that is purification from sins, and these people go to higher planets. But to go to the spiritual world, you must serve God. Mental tension can be released with hatha yoga, prayer, spiritual music, breathing exercises, steam baths, water, earth, wood. You can release pressure. Choose your way. You can have a jam neck bead. It releases 60-70% of pressure. Please tell, does pancreas restore with good eating habits? It may be restored by 50-70%, but there are 30% that are connected to karma. The planets affect you so that your subtle channels are clogged. And if a person does not perform austerities I named, Hatha yoga, pranayama, or bark treatment, these things that clear your subtle channels, your body cannot be restored. Goodness life improves your health by 50-60%, but there are 40% that can be overcome only by austerity directed at your body. And the question is how powerful your austerity is. There are illnesses that can only be defeated by strong influence from outside. People in the mode of goodness cannot heal all their diseases. Some diseases go away quickly. I had asthma and gastritis. I had some illnesses, but once I quitted meat eating, those things went away for good. But there are things that won't. And I have to make efforts to be healthy. For example, my body is very tense because of this big workload. My spine is very stiff. I have to do Hatha Yoga for an hour or an hour and a half daily, and Russian bath also relaxes me. I have blocked nose at night. What constitution is that? There are two types of blocked nose. Either it's too much fire and inflammation in your nose, or there is too much mucus, or both. That means in your subtle body there are two shells, the outer one that is connected to mucous membranes and the one connected to circulation. If even one of them is blocked, then you have problems with your nose, chronic problems. Your body must be purified on the subtle level to remove this problem, if it is chronic. Now, daily routine. Now, about your life. How can I get rid of bad thoughts? I always wish happiness or read prayer, but there is always dirt in my mind. Your dirt is getting out because there is much work. You want to do nothing in this world, but if dirt comes out, then you must work on yourself. Your super soul shows you that you have many sins, and because of them, these are the thoughts you have. You must continue to chant the names of God and serve other people, and gradually you will have these thoughts no more. But then they may appear again. When I do something wrong, I have bad thoughts. I start to pray and it goes away. When people start spiritual practice, inside them they have desired to go to the heavenly planets. This is the primary motives in people who start spiritual practice. People who want happiness, they do not want to be bothered. They do not understand that in the spiritual world, people suffer from love. They have no enjoyment like that. Oh, it's so great, no problems. This is what some people think of spiritual world. There is peace and quiet, you can fly and enjoy. And spiritual world is where people suffer and serve. They are happy in service, and suffering is also happiness to them. That is spiritual world. You are bothered there. In the heavenly planets, you just enjoy, you have rest. And if at the time of praying you have bad thoughts, but you want to go to heaven, the person thinks, well, I must be in heaven now. I pray. So where is my heavenly life? But the holy name of God is not meant for you to go to the heaven. If you really worship God to purify you faster, God can give you many more challenges in life. This idea to get rid of sufferings is wrong. Challenges and sufferings are good. If a boy is punished, it is good if he does not try to break free. Father, I am grateful to you, thank you for punishing me. And the father thinks that it is time to lift punishment. But if the boy, I'm so good, I agree, but please get me out of here. Then the father continues punishment. If you want to be a good boy and to break free, nothing will work. You have bad thoughts, continue to pray. It's fine. You are punished with bad thoughts, with hemorrhoids, with being single. First, you must accept your fate. Do not argue with it. You are punished. That means there are problems in your life. Accept your life, your spouse, your children, and work. Agree with it. Oleg Gennadievich says that you must live among good people, and I live among bad people. I'm going to leave them all and go to good people. It doesn't work. You are not needed among good people. First, you must become good, and then everything around you will change. Doctors ask me, how can I get more patients? You start to treat well, and you will get patients. When a person does something good, he receives reciprocation. And if you can't, then live as you can. As soon as a woman has good character, her husband changes, or God gives another husband. But you must accept your fate as it is. How can we survive living on the 21st floor? You can live there, do yoga, take more showers, get earth inside your house and put your bare feet on earth. There is direct connection to earth and also meditative. You can take soil from your favorite wood and put it in your home. Also get plants in your apartment. You can have ficuses. Do something. You can put your feet on earth while working at the computer. Spiritual music, different plants. You can improve your home and you will be fine on the 56th floor or anything. But as you are punished by fate, no one made you buy apartment so high. My sister has a threat of miscarriage. Neck of uterus is short and a doctor prescribed hormones. I cannot answer this question. This is not a general question. If I make a mistake, you can lose your nephew. Why do I need this? This is wrong in general. Oleg Gennadievich, please do something so that there was no miscarriage. No, I need to work with patients. I need to treat them. Are there constructors among you? Build me a house right now. Click and there is a house. You cannot do it, and I can do it neither. I cannot heal with one word. Oh, my good ones. How do you feel about intestine cleansing Shankh Prakshalana? It is a good. Do we need to cleanse liver? All means of cleansing are medical procedures. They must be done under observation of a doctor or after you learned how to do it. You can do it yourself if you're skillful in it. How to do cleansing? It is all studies of your body, and they must be performed by qualified specialists. If you know what laxative suits you and how you can cleanse yourself, you can do it without a doctor later. But if I give you one method now, it can bring you so much harm that then no one will be able to help you. Let us be reasonable. Cleansing requires high qualification. It requires close contact with a doctor or a yoga specialist. Some people know yoga and they also know how to cleanse the body. But it is good if these people are also doctors or at least have medical education to know what problems may occur. Please give general recommendations to get ready for pregnancy, cleansing, herbs and on. To get prepared for pregnancy, you must quit meat eating, you must have daily routine. Smoking destroys women's health really badly. You must stop any trips because vibrations of vehicles ruin your health. You must have contact with earth. Women must eat more dairy. Men must have physical exercises. When a man works physically, he has good semen. You must limit your sex life, not to waste sexual energy. Too much sex may bring to infertility because semen and hormonal powers are limited. You must limit your sex life for a while to accumulate strength. You must have more spiritual practice to attract a good baby. You must consult an astrologer. If an astrologer is crazy, he may tell you that you should not conceive in 3 years. That means he is no good. But if the astrologer is reasonable, he may ask you to wait for 2 to 4 months and then conceive a baby. Use your intelligence when consulting an astrologer. If he gives you some crazy advices, you must find another astrologer. You must have second opinion. You may ask astrologer about your astrological periods, but if you're 45 and you're told to wait for 3 years, that is crazy. Conceive as you can, no matter what period you have. If you want to be healthy really badly, use whatever you can. Get hydrotherapy. You must understand that there are different circumstances of life, and people who consult you do not always see that. If you do not like something, get a second opinion. In order to make a decision about your period of life, I suggest that you go to 3 different astrologers. Take a simple average of all advices, and that is close to the truth. When Vadim Tuneev considered renounced life, he consulted 5 people about his fate. They all said different things. Very good astrologers, they told different things. But they all said that you should better not get married, and he took renounced order of life. Everyone must give birth in the morning. Till what age? Up to 50. Give birth when you can, conceive when you can, but you should conceive at night time. It is bad to conceive at sunset. It is okay in the morning. If you conceive during day, your baby will be weak. At sunset, he will have mental problems. In the morning, your baby is too sensitive, and at night, healthy. The night is coming, it calls on us and gives us thoughts. I know now, night is more powerful than day. Night starts when the sun is down, and in the north the sun does not get down at all. Then, for you, night starts at about 9-10 p.m. I cannot water fast, and dry fasting is much easier for me than dry fast. But I heard in a few lectures that dry fasting is bad for women. It's not true. It is all individual. What should we do not to get oncology? You must fast. If you fast, then oncology goes away. Fasting and Hatha Yoga in our day clears your subtle channels. You can do breathing exercises, or you can come to ours for bark treatment. You wear bark for a year, and even if you were prone to cancer, your nadis are cleared, and then you will have no cancer. The major reason of cancer is meat eating. It was proved by scientists, and there are doctoral theses on this topic. It is well known that smoking leads to cancer. Alcohol consumption, not so much. It gives you liver cirrhosis and complete atrophy of your mind. But alcoholics usually do not get cancer. They have no brains and no liver, but no cancer. But some can get cancer. Also, not to get oncology, you must not curse or hate anyone. It also leads to cancer. In these times, curses always come back. You will hurt no other person than yourself. It is prohibited to curse nowadays. Curse is a brahmanical energy of a priest. Curse is a punishment, and only very pious people can punish other people with curses. It brings sufferings, but also teaches well. But nowadays, even priests cannot curse. People are so degraded now that they must be forgiven and not cursed. You can only curse a strong person who can bear it and get better. If you curse someone, you will be punished yourself with cancer usually. If people humiliate before someone, that is also evil, and they get oncology. Or a person is depressed, he does not accept his fate, then he can also get sick. How can one become a bee? Me, myself, is not in this consciousness. I try to serve, but sometimes I can't. That is the level of holiness. It is a question like, Ali Gennadievich, how can I jump up on the 8th floor? You cannot jump up, you must go gradually, you must take the stairs. It is a long process, it will take lives. Just live in the mode of goodness. It is happy from the beginning. Your life becomes better in the mode of goodness. Better food, friends, more money, better work. It is profitable to live in the mode of goodness. And do not think if you will already become a bee. I live with my son, I have no role model of a man. How can I bring my son up in the mode of goodness? You must enter into spiritual association. Then you are going to have a mentor. It's usually a man who can also instruct your son. There can be whole families. People in the mode of goodness take care of each other. Your friend's husband can give advice to you and your son. But if there is no role model of a man, your son cannot be developed well. In our Vaishnava tradition, there is a monk who takes children for the summer for a month or two. He takes boys and makes them men. They fight, they wrestle, they improve their health with cold water. The boys change after this camp. Please, it is very important. Those questionnaires you have on your chairs, you must fill them again after the festival to see the changes. That is our scientific work, that is your help. If you want to become bees, please help us. Fill these questionnaires, we need your help. You can hand them over at the exit. You're going to help us make a doctorate thesis by one of my students. No music? Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, how should I behave during pregnancy? During pregnancy, a woman must not work much. Pregnancy is not meant for work, it is meant for prayer and spiritual life. A pregnant woman must live like a nun. There are monks who only have spiritual life, and there are pregnant women. She has no obligations in life, but if she works too much when pregnant, she's going to have a NC baby. You must come to terms with the amount of money you have. There is lack of money, then you should spend less. There will be some limitations, but a woman will carry her child in a peaceful atmosphere. Or you must make some savings to have enough money for the 9 months. To live peacefully, to have good food, and only your husband will work. I heard that bowel movement after eating tells of problems with the body. If sometimes it happens that you eat and then you want to poo, it's okay. But if it happens daily, that's a problem. You see that? That is digestive problems. Your intestine is overexcited. My child goes to a kindergarten, and teachers there complain that children are hyperactive. You see, old people drive cars. That is stress. People are in a hurry. They are nervous. They do not calm themselves down with prayer. That is passion. Old people live in tension. A mother came to me with square eyes. And she says, "What can I do to my son? He is so tense." And she is so tense herself. You must not do anything to your children. Children reflect the atmosphere you live in. The atmosphere is calm, children are calm, and vice versa. There are exceptions. Your child may be ill. If the atmosphere is fine but your child is stressed, he needs treatment. He needs oiling, bark treatment, or jam neck beads. His psyche will be calmed down and he will be fine. It may be an illness, too much tension in psyche, but it also can be parents' problem. If people want too much from their life, they are greedy, it gives tension, and children become tense. Tension is supported by cartoons where everyone runs and shoots, or children play computer games. If a child is tense, why do he needs this extra stimulation? Allow your child watch something peaceful. It is so fine to walk together in the meadows, and surely it is great to sing together some calm cartoons. Pick good cartoons for your child and let him watch it. It will pacify him. But if you watch hockey at the same time, there will be no calmness. Every day in this world, everyone is in a rush. Children and grown-ups go to work and kindergarten. What is going to happen to humanity in 10,000 years? What your pancreas? It is really bad. Then you need to fast. If it does not help, come for treatment to us. Please pass the microphone. What state of mind does this represent? Discussion, tension, inability to relax, and resentment. These things ruin your pancreas. Tension, discussion, inability to rest, and resentment. These are the emotions. My father drinks heavily. That is your karma. You were like that in your past life, and now your father is. In recent years, alcohol is like water. My father used to drink also, and now he can't. If he drinks, he throws up at once. My prayer works. If we don't let him drink, he terrorizes everyone around. My father is 63, he's been drinking over 20 years. How can I save my father? Do not save him, save yourself. This is the main rule of life. Create atmosphere in the mode of goodness. There will be less drinking. The more goodness, the less tension and suffering and drinking. Play spiritual music in your room. Fight for the right to listen to spiritual music. Pray daily. Eat only sanctified food. Have no meat. Create goodness atmosphere, put icons, at least in your room or everywhere in your apartment. Gradually make more goodness. Put away bad pictures from all rooms. Try to make softly so that no one ate meat in your home. Get more territory for goodness, but act softly. Do not instruct your father, it is useless. Love him, it will relax him and he will drink less. People drink because of pain. There is this cartoon. Some angry creatures attacked a person, robbed him, and he poured himself vodka, and these small wicked creatures ask, "What is that?" "That is vodka." "And why vodka?" "Because I have sorrow." You see, people drink because of sorrow. They lack love. My parents and husband traditionally drink alcohol every Saturday. I used to do it with them, but thanks to your lectures, I didn't do it for 1 year. Then I broke down. Now I do not want to drink anymore. This is the effect of festival. I feel forced not to drink. It is not that you just got some strength. Strength comes from somewhere. You had good association, spiritual atmosphere, and now you have strength. When you come back home, you must also have some association. There are groups, bloggers, there are spiritual programs. Be active. Feed on spiritual energy, listen to the lectures every day. It must be your daily practice. When you drive, do not ask me how to eat while driving. Listen to the spiritual music and lectures. You can even listen to it 10 times over. once you listen to it for the 10th time, you will have understood the lecture. You advised to change surroundings. How do I associate with my parents and husband when they drink? Don't do that at that moment. If a person is in the mode of passion, you should have business with them. Even if it is your husband, you can only have business relationships. You cannot have a heart-to-heart. A person only does business in family and everywhere. It is dealings, agreements. If a person is in the mode of ignorance, he cares about no one. A passionate person wants profit, and an ignorant person only makes violence. You should perform your duties before an ignorant person and speak less. And he will be happy not to be bothered and just served. But you must associate with and serve a person in the mode of goodness. If you perform your duties, people will become more goodness. If you try to have close relationships with ignorant people, you will become ignorant. You must learn not to have close relationships, but to perform your duty. That is love. You perform your duty, you love the person in your heart, but you do not have close contact. That is your duty, and they will change, they will become better. But if you chit-chat with them, they will influence you in a bad way, you will degrade. Please tell if kaffir grains is in the mode of goodness. Kaffir grains is worse than bacteria, but it has healing effect. If you make kaffir with grains, it restores your gut microflora. It is treatment and not food. You can treat yourself. It is better to make kaffir with bacteria. Kaffir has goodness and passion. It is made of milk. There is a lot of goodness in it. If meat is spoiled, it is madness. No one is going to eat it. But when products in the mode of goodness get spoiled, they are still healthy. For example, the milk goes sour and you have kaffir. An apple is spoiled, you can make apple vinegar, or some people like sour apples. That means they need acid. Food in the mode of goodness stays good, and ignorant food becomes poison. Bananas are spoiled and they are even tastier. Is kombucha good? It is okay, the same as kaffir grains. It is not the best options, but sometimes people like it and they drink it. You should not deal with mushrooms and fungus. It is not the form of life you must deal with a lot. How can I calm my mother down? She is worried because I eat meat no longer. You must tell your mother, I did not quit meat eating. And you buy vegetarian sausages. Eat it in front of your mother and have sandwiches. Also, there are soy rissoles. You can buy them and tell your mother you can only eat these diet rissoles. People do not even know there are soy rissoles. They are just like meat. My uncle came to me to have treatment. Near Krasnodar we have this production of sausages. They are made of wheat and they taste very naturally. I gave it to my uncle And he asked me, Oleg, did you start to eat meat again? And then why do you give me sausages? You cannot even touch meat. And I told him, well, you know, it is made of wheat. And he was so surprised. These bastards, they cheat us. It is just the same sausages they sell at shops as meat. He was so disappointed. There is also wurst, and this production, they fed a whole institute with sausages, and people did not even know they had no meat, but they thought it was very nice light food. There has always been a line for this food. They were fed with sanctified food with no meat, and no one even knew. What do you think about sclerotherapy? Well, it is hopeless. These methods are dangerous. This sort of intervention can cause you problems in future. Please do not write such long questions. Every time I see my mother or speak to her on the phone, it all comes down to how bad my husband is. That means envy. She criticizes his actions. I am hurt to listen to that. I either stand up for my husband or try to end conversation. You must not respond to that. You just say here, Mother, oh, the weather is so nice. Would you like to go to the countryside? How do you stop someone else's envy? You must not respond, you must not react. Pretend nothing was said. Just change the subject and say that you're like your husband and whatever your mother's opinion is, you do not really care. And you are upset because you do not allow your mother to be mistaken. And here we managers gather together, we are all completely different, and we have our opinion about ongoing projects. Everyone speaks out his opinion and we try to compromise. But the three of us, we have different opinions. It is goodness when you are not upset because of someone else's opinion. That is just your mother's opinion that your husband is bad. Love your mother, allow her to think that, but do not pay attention to that and do not speak to her about that. Association can lead to conflict. Just change subject, forgive her, and because you get contaminated, you must pray. And her desire to criticize your husband will go less and less. If no one pays attention to a child, he will stop crying. And your mother is just like crying. She complains to you. Ignore it. She will forget about it and switch to something else, just like children do. And the problem is that you do not believe in your husband. We all have flaws. If we start speaking about ourselves, there are many interesting things to tell. Are there flawless people in this world? We can start speaking about Vadim Tuneev, Oleg Sentsov, Yaroslav Klimanov. A lot of flaws. And I have more than anyone. There are specialized websites. People listen to my lectures and find mistakes and flaws, and they post these videos, they they try to make me look bad, and there are websites devoted to this. People listen to my lectures all days long and they search for flaws, then they discuss it all. What does it mean? It is simply envy. I can watch it, it makes me laugh. I laugh at it sometimes it makes me cry, thinking where this person will go afterwards. But you should not watch it. Why would you go to these websites? To destroy relationships? And this is it. It is about any person. You can always find flaws and exaggerate them. That is madness. One girl worked at our health center. She spoiled relationships with everyone, and she behaved so badly, just badly. She went out with one of our students who lived as a monk. She smoked, and then she wrote a big letter that was taken up by people on the internet who want to destroy it. It was posted everywhere. She wrote about how she worked and was treated at my health center. She exaggerated everything. She only wrote bad things, some nasty things, and when sensible people read it, they see that she had some mental problems. She saw nothing good in what I did. But she started spiritual practice through my lectures. How crazy that is. And now this letter is all over internet and everyone reads it. Who Dr. Torsunov is. You must not read it. Do not associate with these dirty people. What you see here at the festival is what we really are. What we strive for is what we are. And our flaws will go away in time. You must judge a person by his faith and motives. Please be careful with association. Be careful what you read and watch. And that girl, she congratulated me with happy birthday by that letter. And a few days later she started to write to the police. She wanted to put me into jail. There are scary people in this world. What did she get? I do not know. God will deal with her. People want revenge. When she left us, she said that she was going to revenge, and she did 100%. My mentor, Vadim Tuneev, told me, while there are people like this in your life, it is good. You are not going to be proud. All your flaws will be exaggerated. They will be so big, they will be all over the internet, and you will be very humble. You will go on your spiritual life and the important things you do. And so I'm grateful to this girl and everyone who writes about me. But you must not read it. Please don't. It will contaminate your consciousness. I do not read about my mentors, all the bad things. People have sick minds, sick imagination. Why are eggs painted? What was before that? Please do not ask me confessional questions about religion. I can tell you that our universe has the shape of an egg, and egg symbolizes life or universe. But I'm not going to go further. You can ask these questions to your priest, and they will explain to you how it is done in your religion. we should not wear furs, that is violence, and should we give up leather? Be reasonable, use your intelligence. For example, my shoes are not leather, but when I go on trips, full leather shoes wear out quickly, so I have to wear leather. You can rarely find full leather that is really high quality. So sometimes we wear leather shoes, but in ancient culture, when a cow died on its own, her skin was used to make shoes and other things. That is not violence. But now it's different. An animal is killed and then it is flayed. You should not wear furs. They are easily replaced. But if that is your culture, for example, you are an CEO and your wife is supposed to wear furs to some event, because otherwise it will look bad, then there is no choice. I'm going to give you an example. In our spiritual tradition, there was a spiritual master. It was when England ruled over India, and one important English gentleman wanted to come to the temple, but he said that he only ate meat. And this spiritual master made another spiritual tradition cook meat and sanctify it, and then bring it to the place where this English gentleman was greeted. And the spiritual master was asked, why did you give him meat? To promote peace and to promote spiritual knowledge, I am eager to give meat to these important people. But that spiritual master was a holy person, very elevated. We cannot imitate these things. But when speaking about what you should do to have relationships with big officials, with authorities, if it is needed for spiritual advancement, there can be some small concessions. Please tell about milk fasting. Milk fasting is dangerous. Only women who drink milk all day and like it very much, people who like milk very much can fast on milk. Which ones of you can drink milk all day? Those who raise your hands can milk fast, and it can cause health problems to others. Milk fasting is for people who have a lot of fire in their body, and women who like milk very much. Their body is like that, dairy. But if an ordinary person fasts on milk, it can cause harm to the body. Normally milk is diluted and honey is added. Milk fasting is meant for consciousness purification, and it also can cure your infertility, give your babies. But it is a difficult fasting. It is for people who spiritual practice. We have more time, yes? My friend's father has prostate cancer, stage 4. He cannot be transported. That means he cannot be cured. If the person is bedridden with cancer, he cannot be healed. If a person loses very much weight because of cancer, he cannot be cured. You can make it easier with drugs. What is the right way to make melted butter? Do you have to ask me that? Go to our website, there is a recipe there. Her situation is critical, and if she does not quit smoking and does not adopt a healthy lifestyle, it is going to end badly soon. Tell her about that this is what you were told. It does not mean that she will listen to you. Even God does not interfere with people's lives. He gives free will. We cannot interfere if a person wants to kill himself. We sometimes think that we can limit freedom of our relatives, especially parents cannot limit their children. So I just should tell her as it is, and that is her choice. Yes, it is. I would like to thank you, Oleg Gennadievich. I would like to say that we are grateful that you perform your duties very well. It is hard to say unpleasant things. My position is very popular, so many people listen to me. Yes, but when a teacher has to tell us things we do not like, and we cannot accept it, it is the most important thing. My audience is very grateful. And also, I would like to complain, because thanks to closeness to you and to people around, we can think that we are worth something. You are worth something. People do not come here by accident. We take 700 people, 600 stay. 100 either comes and goes or cannot come at all. Their percent is very high. It is rarely so. You cannot just come here. This is a special zone, closed area. You cannot come here so easily. Some people want to come, but they can't. Which ones of you wanted to come here for several years and couldn't? You see? And the fact that you came means that you're special. And I know that you are very elevated. The Vedas say that if a person is on a spiritual path, even in the beginning he is a saint person at once. You cannot think of him as a sinner. You cannot criticize him or think badly of him. You must worship a person like that. The person on the spiritual path is a saint. My spiritual master said that there are two types of saint people. There are those who are already ripe and those who are in the process. There are two mangoes, a green one and a ripe one. They are different. No, they are not different. This green mango will be sweet in 2 weeks. They are the same. And you must respect spiritual people very much. And your humbleness is the sign that you deserve respect. Thank you very much for your warm words. You want to come to Ilskaya, to our health center? You can come for bark treatment. Even people who drink and smoke and eat meat come to us. Bark gets all the meat out of them. They come here, they associate with us, they eat sanctified food, and everything changes. You can send over your relatives to me as long as they accept me as a doctor. But at the time of treatment, drinking and smoking is prohibited. We do not treat people who do that during treatment. But if a person is sober by the time of appointment, it is okay. If someone drinks at the health center, we say goodbye to him at once. In Ilskaya, there are enough drunk people. We admit all people. They change after our health center. They have good association, they listen to the lectures. Our patients are busy all day. There are lectures and yoga and then treatment. It is like a festival. What should be a woman's daily routine if she is alone? She needs to earn money, to have spiritual practice, to do housekeeping. By the mercy of the Lord, it will all be good. What kind of daily routine? A little bit of everything. You do spiritual practice, you do cooking, but all is needed. One acquaintance of mine prayed 6 hours a day, and 3 hours she simultaneously prayed and cooked to her husband. And that prayer is also very high. She learned to concentrate so well that she both cooked and prayed. If you have no time, you can do that. Anyway, you must pray when cooking. And if you cannot have beads on your hands, there are counters. You put them on your finger and you can count your chanting. There are ways to adopt. If it is too hard to concentrate, in our tradition we have records of our spiritual master's voice who chants the prayer very evenly, and you can do it with him. In Christianity there are nunneries where women can go at any age. And in the Vedic culture, if I'm not mistaken, only at old age. That is not true. We call it ashram. There are ashrams for women, but we do not welcome it. There are ashrams for women, but we think that it is unnatural. A woman should be in a family, but there are renounced women in our tradition also. A woman must get married, and if not, what is there to do? You must do spiritual practice more. If you cannot marry, about half of women now statistically cannot get married or they are divorced, and men are the same. Many people have no families. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is predicted that in hundreds of years people will be unable to live together. There will be just mating, baby, and people go apart. The greater the degradation, the less there is opportunity to get married. Degradation of culture and humanity. It is hard to live in a family. You must accept each other, all the flaws and problems. A single person has more time for spiritual practice. But if you live alone and you just have some relationships, that is a bad sin. If you are alone, you must abstain. Celibacy makes a woman prettier and prettier until someone loses his head, and then she gets married. And if a woman just goes out, she is never going to marry. There is a lot of talk about intestinal parasites that prevent digestion. That is nonsense. Parasites in your intestines are the reason of cancer and bad digestion. That is just switching fault. It's not my fault, it is parasites. Parasites are everywhere, in the air, in your food, and it is their fault. I am ill because of parasites. No, according to Ayurveda, all bacteria in our body that get into our body with inhaling, we take in a lot of bacteria and microbes when breathing. Our body needs them. It stimulates our immunity. If a person has no flu, his immunity goes down. And bacteria, they sustain our immunity too. But not to have too many, there are food products that can destroy bacteria. I named those: walnut, St. John's wort. You can make tea. All round peppers, white, black, green peppers. They destroy different bacteria and parasites. You can eat wormwood's root from time to time. Nutmeg, clove, turmeric. You can make tansy tea to destroy intestinal infections. Wormwood destroys sexual infections. You can use root and leaves. Common wormwood. There are other types. They have their effects. There are a lot of natural antibiotics that allow you to stay healthy. These parasites do not spread too much. Pumpkin seeds fight helminths. They paralyze these worms. Helminths hold on to your intestine walls, and pumpkin seeds paralyze muscles of helminths. They cannot hold on to your intestine, they just flow out. Just like this famous doctor said, just go with the flow, and helminths just flow out of you. You see that? What sins make a person snort at nights? A person here tortures everyone around with his snort. Your deep brain is too relaxed, and your throat muscles are also relaxed, and you breathe in with both your nose and mouth. There are special hats that hold your jaw up, and so you do not snort at night. It is very easy. I guess that our gem neck beads can release you from snort because it makes sleep more superficial. Normally people do not wear neck beads during nights, but if you're very tense, you can have it at night also. For example, when you have a stutter or you snort, it is the same as when you urinate involuntarily at night. It is because you're too relaxed. We can also try neck beads during night. How to treat hepatitis C. Our results are indefinite. This virus is very strong and persistent. In general, we put white coral to the middle finger, like I have here. I do not have Hep C, but it suits me. I deal with infected people a lot. White coral destroys infection. Either middle finger or index finger. Index finger helps from colds and middle finger from hepatitis. The second way is conifer, slow down all viruses. You must have pine branches in your room at all times. They are good for 2 weeks, then you need new ones. The third way is mango stones. You must eat them. They fight viruses and they help with liver problems, all types of hepatitis. You break the mango stone and eat what is inside. Then again, white pepper. It is the strongest means against viruses. There are also peepali seeds or long pepper. They have antiviral effect, and so you can slow hepatitis down. Your liver will not be destroyed. Also, when we put bark and a person wears it, viral activity goes dramatically down, or there is no at all. But in our practice there were only a few cases when after bark treatment no hepatitis was found. So practically the person was cured. But from the point of view of infection medicine, a person is not really treated. Only in 10 years we can claim that the person was healed. So we are working on it. We are fighting infection. Same goes for tuberculosis and acid. We cannot tell that we are going to heal you, but we will help you. I cannot give up fish. Can I be a vegetarian? Is it sinful to kill fish if you breed it yourself? You give it life. Wow, you give it life. That is great. Who can give life to a fish? Are there amazing people here? Which one of you can give life to a plant? When you plant a seed, do you give life? No, only God gives life. The seed grows not because you want it. The same with fish. You do not breed fish, you torture them. You breed them, you just feed them and they multiply. In the same way you are also breeded. God breeds you. He feeds you, gives you home, so you are breeded, then you can kill other people and eat them. Just imagine it, God breeds us, then He kills us and eats. Do you want to live like that? Lev Tolstoy said that if you want to know something, first try it on yourself. Eating fish is not as bad as eating meat. It's okay if you eat meat. Go on praying and spiritual practicing. In a few years, you will not eat fish, but there will be shrimps. And after some more time, you will eat seaweeds. I really like seaweeds now. It replaces fish for me completely. Your child does not want to study computer only. You must change atmosphere at your home. Unless you do, nothing will help. If you only enjoy at home, your child will also enjoy only. You must do spiritual practice yourself, you must limit yourself, have good relationships with your child. If you torture him and order him, he has no enthusiasm to study at all. You must inspire him, then his conscience will be awakened. But in general, as school curriculum is terrible now, people are filled with some unnecessary information. Studying disgusts children, but some of them can study and those can't. But I cannot say that children are happy because of study. Raise your hands whose children are studying. Well, there are 2 or 3. These children must be very special, geniuses. Thanks to your lectures, I got married. I remember one woman. I was very young then, 23. I started to read lectures. I treated people with cold water. I treated everyone. Daily routine and cold water. Also herbs. And that woman came, she had 11 miscarriages, she was 33, she was hopeless, she was afraid to conceive because miscarriage is not an easy thing. Life is lost. She also started to bathe in cold water every day, in icy water. And after 14 days, she found out that she was late a few days, and she went on bathing in icy water. And she realized that she did that pregnant. She came to me and asked what to do. I answered that it was okay, that she could go on. And her body got relaxed when she got into icy water. Her infertility came from high tension in her uterus. And she did that her whole pregnancy. And then when she had a baby, she came to me with her husband and said, Олег Геннадьевич, thank you for my son. And her husband was kind of embarrassed. You must thank God for your children. Oh, it is just a thank you note. I have a bad heartburn. You must eat too much here. It tortures me all days. I never knew what that was before. I tried to exclude some dishes, but in vain. It's spices. Spices do not suit you here. It happens sometimes. We have special diet for people who cannot eat spices or boiled food. We have special menu and you can get it. We make exceptions at the festivals. That means you cannot have spices. Sometimes a person cannot eat spices at all. Spices give heartburn mostly, or too much oil. But these are exceptions. But mostly people need much spices and oil in their food. How to treat mastopathy? You can come for bark treatment. We have a lot of cases of mastopathy. We have reviews section on our website, and we take some review. If it helps to many people, we post it online. You find your disease review, you can come. So the time is up. This is how much notes I answered to. I can never answer all notes. This is more than I can think, so I'll do it on the next lecture. And this was a health lecture after all. Once again, I remind you that we have questionnaires. Please fill them in. That is your service to our festival, your gratitude. Tell it to your friends who did not come now. You can even take questionnaires with you for your friends and acquaintances. Please take these questionnaires with you and you can hand them in later to us. And you yourself can fill these questionnaires now and hand them in at the exit. Please fill these questionnaires. We need many data to write doctoral thesis. There is a topic, there is everything. We must start it. Sit straight now.
Если кто-то в нашей традиции духовной
If anyone here is in our
находится,
spiritual tradition,
и вы хотите на лето давать
and you
ребенка,
want to give
то
your
Володя
child
Слепцов,
to a summer camp
можно к
for
ним
their
подойти, узнать
summer,
информацию подробно.
you can approach
Это
Oleg Sliptsov
в
and
Абхазии происходит
get
такой
all the
отдых на
information.
море.
It takes place in Abkhazia
Там
at
есть
the
каждое
seaside.
лето преподаватель,
Every
который
summer there
мужчин,
is a
мальчиков
teacher
воспитывает,
who
настоящих мужчин.
teaches boys and he makes real
А
men
девочек
of
нет
them.
пока.
No, girls
Я
not
не знаю,
yet.
по-моему, лет с 10 даже, ну как
I
с
do not know.
5
Starting
лет он
from
берет,
10,
да?
starting from 5 years old.
А? У него лагерь, там лагерь, летняя школа.
Summer
да?
camp.
Ой, я не знаю, все, в
I do
общем,
not
все по
know.
этим вопросам к Володе
All the
Слепцову.
questions to Oleg
Если
Sliptsov.
вы там не сильно их мучают также духовной практикой, можно в
Boys do not
принципе,
have too much
и,
spiritual
допустим,
practice
если вы
there.
просто как бы хотите ребенка,
If you
чтобы
just
воспитывали
want
как-то в духе
to
образования нравственного,
teach
можно,
your
как бы,
child
ну,
morally.
есть даже такой фильм на эту тему 20
There is even a movie about this camp.
Он этим занимается.
So address Oleg Sliptsov.
Вспомнили святого человека, настроились на святость.
Remember a saintly person, remember holiness, bow down in your thought
И пытаемся служить.
and try to serve. How do we serve? By chanting,
Я
I wish everyone happiness. I wish everyone happiness.
Я желаю всем счастья. 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 Желаю всем счастья. Я 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 желаю всем счастья. Желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем
счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Я желаю всем счастья. Спасибо большое. Я желаю вам всем счастья.
I wish happiness to all of you.
Полного знания.
Love, spiritual knowledge, all the best there
Я
is.
очень благодарен вам.
I am very
за ваши
grateful
глаза.
to you.
Спасибо вам большое.
Thank you.